I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't. I remember the first time that I saw that posted on May 25th, 2020. George Floyd was unalived on camera by police officers, to which the response from black women everywhere was, I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't. I remember the feeling that I felt the first time I saw that, second time I saw that, third time. I remember the more and more I saw it, I remember that made me think. Because the feeling of euphoria that I saw the very first time I saw those words was amazing. And as I got to thinking about it, at the time I'm 40 years old, I got to thinking about what I've heard all my life about black men. And it dawned on me that all we had to do to get that affirmation, that positive affirmation, was pay the ultimate price. All my life, the majority of what I've heard about black men is negative. Since I was a child, overhearing conversations between the closest women that I have to me, having conversations, closest women that I know, all I've heard was black men wasn't shit. And even at 4 or 5 years old, I was blessed to be able to understand a lot of what they were saying. And I patterned myself behind that, to try to be the opposite of everything that they were saying that bothered them throughout the years. Now, we won't talk about my results. I remember within 24 hours of hearing that for the first time, and seeing it multiple times on Facebook, seeing people make videos saying that, I remember thinking of all the times that I've seen baby mamas that I know personally who go out of their way to be an obstacle in their baby daddy's life. And when they pass away, if their baby daddy should pass away, they cry like babies, talking about the world just lost a good one. And I started to think, well, damn, I know your life. I know the things you said to me about him, the things that y'all been through, or whatever the case may be. Why did it take for him to pass for you to admit that he was a good one? I really thought to myself, how long will this last? If you don't believe me, you can go look on my Facebook, Trav Sloan, and you can go look up around those dates. There was a video where I actually asked that question, how long will this energy last? Rather than keeping that energy and staying in that spot and thinking that, I began a campaign to let black women know that I love them. And within a week or so, it went from, I love you, black man, or I love you, black woman, queen and mother of all things, and the response being, I love you too, black man, to thank you. Simultaneous to that, I noticed that the post of, I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't, had died down severely to the point that it was non-existent. And that post, I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't, would not return until Jacob Blake was paralyzed. And I remember thinking, well, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you just have to be critically wounded for them to proclaim their love for us. Ladies and gentlemen, that brought me to this point right here. And I'm guessing that it brought a lot of brothers to this point. You may have heard me say on several of my videos that once the pandemic started, we started talking. Notice those dates. Those dates are 2020. The pandemic was introduced to America in February of 2020. I don't know this for sure, but I think a lot of brothers actually took notice of that reaction, and they reacted accordingly. Over the last several days, and the only reason that this video right here is being made in this moment is because last night it was brought to my attention that actually a woman claimed that we protested for y'all. I don't even know you to be there in the protest. I have no idea. You can tell me that all you want to. I don't know that to be true. B, I remember a lot of women saying that they were doing this specifically for their sons, not me, not all of us, but for their sons. Not the rest of us, but their sons. And over the last few days, as a situation that happened somewhere, somehow, where the expectation is that a man protect a woman, I don't know if y'all understand the effect of your reaction in those situations may have had on the men who you now expect to protect you when they have nothing to do with you. That they have a different understanding of what you really think about this. See, there's so many layers to peel back in this shit, like the fact that you are the chosen weapon of choice ever since the days of slavery that people have used against us, the black man. Because utilizing you is the only thing that could keep us in a broken state. Because we love you so much. What has happened since May of 2020 is a lot more of us have found value within ourselves, that we just don't accept bullshit. We began to talk and we began to tell you exactly what the hell is coming, and coming soon and coming rapidly. We began to accept accountability for our part, and the only difference was we started to tell you about your part. For years and years we've heard men don't talk, men don't tell us how we feel, men don't do this, men don't do that. Everything is always painted in a negative light for men. But once men started talking, there became a problem. A brother on here named Clapback made a point on his live yesterday, and I just happened to catch it when I was scrolling. And he said, in your pursuit of independence, black men are simply giving you a handbook on how to protect yourself, how to step away from certain situations, how to actually be independent. And I was like, damn, that's exactly what I've been trying to do. You don't have to be with us, but hey, protect yourself in this situation, this way. Get away from that situation. To which I've received nothing but the operative word of the brother's name, Clapback, which gives me new understanding to why certain brothers are out here doing exactly what they're doing and giving up. And yet, sister, through all of that, I still choose to reach out and try my best to protect you, because I can't be everywhere. But I can do what I do. Show off. So, for greater context, please go check out part 1 of this video. Here recently, we've gone through the gamut of emotions. We have witnessed black women celebrating the loss of life of black men while they claim that we hate them so much for reasons as simple as a man having an opinion, claiming that they wanted to dance on his grave. And the only time that it ever makes sense for the celebration of loss of life is during times of war. And the question is, have you declared war against people who don't stand to gain anything by beating you? Therefore, they don't want to fight you? We witness a disdain so deep that it actually turns you against each other. The mere mention of someone agreeing with something in favor of any man moves you to call each other pick-me's and pick-meshas, to which you proceed to try to literally, mentally and emotionally destroy each other's feelings. See, all of this is coming off the heels of a certain situation happening in which we have witnessed people talk more about the men who stood by and didn't help an individual woman, while completely forgetting about the one guy who hit her ass with a brick. Therefore, that disdain that you have for men completely makes y'all miss the whole point of everything. I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't, except you're part of that world that doesn't. I've witnessed a panel of women on Clubhouse laugh, joke, and endorse police brutality against men, saying that they can't wait to call the police on black men so they can see us shuck and jive and dance. And that it turns them on to see a police officer beat a black man. Every third post that we come to on social media is ridiculing and downplaying and down-talking every black man rather than the ones you've chosen to deal with. I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't. And yet, you're part of that world that doesn't. In part one, I talked about the black woman being the tool utilized to break men because we won't leave you. Going all the way back to the days of slavery. Go ask good old Bill. And ever since then, they have capitalized on it and capitalized on it and capitalized on it, using you, utilizing you. Because they know as much as you have the power and the ability to make us powerful, you have the power and ability to make us weak. Because you are the only thing that we're weak to. So you take part in the same system and you utilize the same system against good brothers that has been breaking us down for 400 years. I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't, but you're part of that world that doesn't. You have reached the point that you now ask the innocent to take accountability for the pain that has been inflicted by the guilty that you have chosen to bring into your life. Daily, you embark on a mission to turn everybody and anyone who will listen against us, while never giving us any credit for our accomplishments or anything we add to your lives. And yet, you still ask us to protect you. I love you, black man, even if the world doesn't. Even though you're part of the world that doesn't love us. And even with those words, you are essentially acknowledging a lie that you have continued to push to this very day. That you are not the most disrespected demographic in America. African American men are the most disrespected, disliked group of people in America. Because you love us black men, even if the world doesn't, except you are part of that world that doesn't love us. Show off.